Well, look who decided to come back. It's more fungi from Yuggoth. This is parts 19 through 36. And it will conclude the rest of the piece. I really hope you enjoy. 19. The Bells. Year after year, I heard that faint, far ringing of deep toned bells on the black midnight wind. Peals from no steeple I could ever find, but strange, as if across some great void winging. I searched my dreams and memories for a clue, and thought of all the chimneys my visions carried, of quiet Innsmouth, where the white gulls tarried around the ancient spire that once I knew. Always perplexed, I heard those far notes falling, till one March night, the bleak rain splashing cold, beckoned me back through gateways of recalling to elder towers where the mad clappers tolled. They told, but from the sunless tides that pour through the sunken valleys on the sea's dead floor. 20. Night Gaunts. Out of what crypt they crawl, I cannot tell, but every night I see the rubbery things, black, horned and slender, with membranous wings, and tails that bear that bifid barb of hell. They come in legions on the north wind's swell, with obscene clutch that titillates and stings, snatching me off on monstrous voyagings to grey worlds hidden deep in nightmare's well. Over the jagged peaks of Thok they sweep, heedless of all the cries I try to make, and down the nether pits of that foul lake, where the puffed Shoggoth splashes in doubtful sleep. But oh, if only they would make some sound, or wear a face where faces should be found. 21. Nyarlathotep. And at the last, from inner Egypt came the strange dark one to whom the fellas bowed, silent and lean and cryptically proud, and wrapped in fabrics red as sunset flame. Throngs pressed around, frantic for his commands, but leaving, could not tell what they had heard. Well, through the nations spread the awestruck word that wild beasts followed him and licked his hands. Soon from the sea a noxious birth began, forgotten lands with weedy spires of gold. The ground was cleft, and mad auras rolled down on quacking citadels of men. Then, crushing what he chanced to mold and play, the idiot chaos blew earth's dust away. 22. Azathoth. Out in the mindless void the demon bore me, past the bright clusters of dimension space, till neither time nor matter stretched before me, but only chaos, without form or place. Here the vast lord of all and darkness muttered things he had dreamed but could not understand, while near him sleepless bat things flopped and fluttered in idiot vortices that ray streams fanned. They danced insanely to the high, thin whining of a cracked flute clutched in a monstrous paw, whence flow the aimless waves whose chance combining gives each frail cosmos its eternal law. I am his messenger, that demon said, as in contempt he struck his master's head. Need a drink. And I'm pouring it all over myself. How's that? "23. Mirage. I do not know if it ever existed, the lost world, floating dimly on time's stream. And yet I see it often, violet misted and shimmering at the back of some vague dream. There, where strange towers and curious lapping rivers, labyrinths of wonder and low vaults of light, and bow crossed skies of flame, like that which quivers wistfully just before a winter's night. Great moors led off to sledgy shores, unpeopled, where vast birds wheeled while on a windswept hill. There was a village, ancient and white steepled, with every chime for which I listen still. I do not know what land it is, or dare ask when or why I was or will be there. 24. The Canal. Somewhere in dream there is an evil place, where tall deserted buildings crowd along a deep black narrow channel, reeking strong of frightful things whence oily currents race. Lanes with old walls half meeting overhead. Wind off to streets one may or may not know, and feeble moonlight sheds a spectral glow over long rows of windows dark and dead. There are no footfalls, and the one soft sound is of the oily water as it glides under stone bridges and along the sides of its deep fume to some vague ocean bound. No one lives to tell when that stream washed away its dream lost region from the world of clay. 25. St. Toads. Beware, St. Toads, croaked chimes, I heard him scream, as I plunged into those mad lanes that wind in labyrinths obscuring and unidentified, south of the river where old centuries dream. He was a furtive figure, bent and ragged, and in a flash had staggered out of sight. So still, I burrowed onward in the night toward where moon roof lines rose, malign and jagged. No guidebook told of what was lurking here, but now I heard another old man shriek, "Beware, St. Toad's!" Cracked chimes, and growing weak. I paused, when a third graybeard croaked in fear, "Beware, St. Toad's croaked chimes!" Oh, I'm just going to go with it. Aghast, I fled, till suddenly that black spire loomed ahead. 26. The Familiars. John Whately lived about a mile from town, up where the hills began to huddle thick. We never thought his wits were very quick, seeing the way he let his farm run down. He used to waste his time on some weird books he'd found around the attic of his place, till funny lines got creased in his face, and folks all said they didn't like his look. When he began those night howls, he declared he'd better be locked up away from harm. So 3 men from Aylesbury Town Farm went for him, but came back alone and scared. They'd found him talking to 2 crouching things that at their step flew off on great black wings. 27. The Elder Pharaohs. It's getting really hard to read these Roman numerals. I am not very good at that. XXVII. Bro. Anyway. From Loon where rocky peaks climb bleak and bare, under cold stars obscure to human sight, there shoots at dusk a single beam of light, whose far blue rays make shepherds whine in prayer. They say, though none has been there, that it comes out of a pharaoh in a tower of stone. Out of a pharos in a tower of stone, where the last elder one lives on alone, talking to chaos with the beat of a drums. The thing, they whisper, wears a silken mask of yellow, whose weird folds appear to hide a face not of this earth, though none dares ask just what those features are which bulge inside. Many, in man's first use, sought out that glow, but what they found no one will ever know. 28. Expectancy. I cannot tell why some things hold for me a sense of unplumbed marvels to befall, or of a rift in a horizon's wall, opening to worlds where only gods can be. There is a breathless, vague expectancy, as of vast ancient pomps I half recall, or wild adventures uncorporeal, ecstasy fraught and as a daydream free. It is in sunsets and strange city spires, old villages and woods and misty downs, south winds, the sea, low hills and lighted towns, old gardens, half heard songs and the moon's fires. But though its lore alone makes life worth living, none gains or guesses what it hints at giving. 29. Nostalgia. Once every year, in autumn's wistful glow, the birds fly out over an ocean's waste, calling and chattering in a joyous haste to reach some land their inner memories know. Great terraced gardens where bright blossoms blow in lines of mangoes luscious to the taste, and temple groves with branches interlaced over cool paths. All these their vague dreams show. They search the sea for marks of their old shore from the tall city, white and turreted, but only empty waters stretch ahead, so that at last they turn away once more, yet sunken deep where alien pulps throng. The old towers miss their lost, remembered song. 30. Background. I never can be tied to raw new things, for I first saw the light in an old town, where from my window huddled roofs sloped down to a quaint harbor rich with visionings, streets with carved doorways, where the sunset beams flooded old fanlights and small window panes, and Georgian steeples topped with gilded vanes. These were the sights that shaped my childhood dreams, such treasures left from times of caution's leaven. Cannot but lose a hold of flimsier race that flit with shifting ways and muddled face across the changeless walls of earth and heaven. They cut the moment's throngs and leave me free to stand alone before eternity. 31. The Dweller. It had been old when Babylon was new. None knows how long it slept beneath that mound, where in the end our questing shovels found its granite blocks and brought it back to view. There were vast pavements and foundation walls and crumbling slabs and statues carved to show. Fantastic beings of some long ago past, anything the world of man recalls. And then we saw those stone steps leading down through a choke gate of graven dolomite to some black haven of eternal night, where elder signs and primal secrets frown. We cleared a path, but raced in mad retreat, when from below we heard those clumping feet. 32. Alienation. His solid flesh had never been away, for each dawn found him in his usual space. But every night his spirit loved to race through gulfs and worlds remote from common day. He had seen Yuggoth, yet retained his mind, and come back safely from the Goric zone, when one still night across curved space was thrown that beckoning piping from the voids behind. He waked that morning as an older man, and nothing since has looked the same to him. Objects around float nebulous and dim false. Objects around float nebulous and dim false phantom trifles of some vaster plan. His folks and friends are now an alien throng, to which he struggles vainly to belong. 33. Harbor whistles. Over old roofs and past decaying spires, the harbor whistles chant all through the night. Throats from strange ports and beaches far and white, and fabulous oceans ranged in motley choirs, each to the other alien and unknown, yet all by some obscuring, focusing force from brooding gulfs beyond the zodiac's course, fused into one mysterious cosmic drone. Through shadowy dreams they send a marching line of still more shadowy shapes and hints of views, echoes from outer voids and subtle clues to things which they themselves cannot define, and always in that chorus faintly blent, we caught some notes no earthly ship ever sent. "34. Recapture. The way led down a dark half-wooden heath where moss-gray boulders humped above the mold, and curious drops, disquieting and cold, sprayed up from unseen streams of gulfs beneath. There was no wind, nor any trace of sound in puzzling shrub or alien feature tree, nor any view before, till suddenly, straight in my path, I saw a monstrous mound. Half to the sky those steep sides loomed upspread, rank-grassed and cluttered by a clumping flight of lava stairs that scaled the fear-topped height, in steps too vast for any human tread. I shrieked and knew what primal star and year had sucked me back from man's dream transient sphere. 35. Evening Star. I saw it from that hidden silent place where the old wood half shuts the meadow's end. It shone through all the sunset's glories, thin at first, but with a slowly brightening face. Night came, and that lone beacon, amber-hued, beat on my sight as never it did of old, the evening star but grown 1,000-fold, more haunting in this hush of solitude. It traced strange pictures on the quivering air, half memories that had always filled my eyes. Vast towers and gardens, curious seas and skies of some dim life I never could tell where. But now I knew that through the cosmic dome those rays were calling from my far lost home. And 36. Continuity. There is, in certain ancient things, a trace of some dim essence, more than form or weight. A tenuous ether, intermittent, yet linked with all the laws of space and time. A faint, veiled sign of continuities that outward eyes can never quite descry. Of locked dimensions harboring years gone by and out of reach except for hidden keys. It moves me most when slanting sunbeams glow on old farm buildings set against a hill, and paint with life the shapes which linger still from centuries less a dream than this we know. In that strange light, I feel I am not far from the fixed mass whose sides the ages are. All right, that is the end of it, and thank you so much for watching Fungi from Yuggoth. I hope you enjoyed it. That was all 36 sonnets in that. But I'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe if you aren't already. And yeah, that's it.